it's Sunday once again. That means it's time for another round of 3 questions with yours truly. We'll get to the first one. From Callan Joins. Question 1. Do you think a movie based on the new Thunderbirds Are Go would work? I want to go into this a little bit more descriptively because what you got to remember with that live stream I did for episode 100, everybody's coming at me left, right and centre with questions, and I want to apologise with the way I handled like the first 15 to 20 minutes of that hangout, because I'm very, very new to Google Hangouts. I didn't have a whole perception and mentality of how that's actually done, so my bad on that. So I'm not gonna make any excuse. I don't want to make any excuses of that, but it was like with the Skype back in the day when I did things like Royal Rumble 2009 panel and then doing the first announce table. I was very new at stuff like that. I'd say I'm okay with stuff like that today. The only reason I say that is because I'm always looking to improve. I look at, you're only as good as your last performance or your last panel. So every one I've done is like, okay, did this one okay, what can I do to improve the next one, But to his point, I think a movie based upon the ITV Studios and Pukeko Pictures could work well as a movie because 1, they're actual genuine fans of that show. 2, they pour a lot of love and a lot of time and effort into that show because they grew up with the original, regardless of which rerun or even if it was the original showing back in the 60s. So they want to see this done where it's honouring the original but doing things that they couldn't even dream of 50 years ago when they did the original. Technically speaking, because when the first 2 episodes were brought to Easter Saturday, which was the premiere opening episode of season 1, it did feel like a very short TV movie in some essence, almost as long as an episode would have been in the original series. I think if they really found the time and to really shell out a very solid story that could go the length and actually tell a lengthy story but not make it feel like it was was dragging its heels and whatnot, I think it could do a decent feature-length TV movie. I don't see any reason why it shouldn't. Thank you for your question. AC Plastering, how you doing, by the way, buddy? Just for a little context, this is a guy I went to high school with back in the day. Solid, decent guy from what I understand today, because I haven't seen this guy in about 17 years. But he's a stand-up individual, and his son, Bowen, is a huge Marvel Comics hero fan. And his question is, what are your thoughts on Scott, aka the Ant-Man? I'm presuming you're referring to Scott Lang, who was the second Ant-Man in the comics, because most Marvel purists will tell you that Henry or Hank Pym was the original Ant-Man, and of course also Giant Man if you followed the Ultimate Avengers movie storyline, and the Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes, which got cancelled in favour of Avengers Assemble, which I saw one episode and I'm like, yeah, I want those 20 minutes of my life back. Based upon what I saw with Paul Rudd's interpretation in a couple of trailers and a couple of clips, he does seem like this anti-hero that has pretty much been on the wrong side of the tracks for a while, and it is a cliche that, bad guy or, guy that's done wrong wants to do right for his daughter. It's a cliche that's been used for quite a few years in movies, but it's one that works and it makes sense. So the guy's got a little bit of charisma, got some charm to him. I think he'll do reasonably well. Very reasonably well. Here's an interesting one. Pizza Hut or Domino's? I may have answered this question once before back in the day, but I'm happy to answer it again since somebody wants that answered. I say both. For different reasons. I like them for different reasons, but I like them equally. Domino's for just being a little bit more readily... When I say readily available, I'm talking in the scope of... Because most towns that I go, if I go out to the movies, there happens to be a Domino's there within the area, which is always cool. That and those garlic dips, I love those garlic dips. But there are times where you want to eat in at a restaurant for pizza, and Pizza Hut ain't going anywhere. They are one of the best, and there's something about a deep pan, thick crust pizza in there that is just heaven. Especially little thing I was known to do back in my college days. Whenever I'd get up and meet with a couple of buddies, whenever I'd get half term, we go down to Pizza Hut and do the all-you-can-eat menu, which is basically just pay £5 and go to like their, as it just says, all you can eat, serve yourself. There's so many different varieties in there, and the salad bar is always wonderful, especially with those breadsticks. I love those breadsticks. So, yeah. I love both of them for different reasons, but love them equally. So, those have been your 3 questions for this week. You know how this works by now. If you're watching this on YouTube or dynamicnight.com, leave a question in the comment section below, or if you happen to be watching on Twitter, send a question to my Twitter link in the outro. But until next time, ask again.